All right, everybody, we are live on Mansfield Buzz. We bring the buzz to Mansfield business and businesses in the surrounding area. We are located, for those of you who might even be checking us out, not in Mansfield, not even in Texas. We are located in the south part of DFW Metroplex, so be aware of that. And we want to welcome, there's two hosts on this show. Jordan's right there, sitting there. He's going to help us out with the hosts on the show today. My name's Hurdy, and Denise is our guest. Before we get to Denise, bear with us. We always like to make a couple announcements at the beginning of the podcast. And so, guys, first of all, let's put up where you can find us. We are right now live on YouTube, but I'm putting this back up because after this show's over, if people want to come subscribe to this YouTube channel, this is the link. We hope you will go and subscribe and follow all the podcast shows. We're relatively new to the platform, meaning that we both have experience doing this, but we just launched this. So this is our third official show. And so we want to welcome everybody to the Mansfield Buzz. And so, Jordan, say hi.
Hello, welcome to the show.
Yeah, and so he's so quiet today. What can I say? So, anyhow, we have, I think, Jordan, an exciting guest. When you get people that actually know what they're talking about and understand the health industry, right? And it's when she
Mhm.
tells you her background, you'll agree with that. So, Denise, welcome.
Thank you so much.
Listen, we're going to get you in a conversation today. We're excited to have you. And Jordan, at this point, if you don't mind, go ahead and jump in. I'll pull up the first question for you. So, Denise, we're on a pretty much a 30 to 40 minute, but take your time. Don't rush on your answers. We're
Mhm.
excited to get this great information from you.
Very good.
Definitely. We chatted a little bit before the show, and your background's fascinating and how you got to this point. So I love for the audience to just get a little bit of insight into it because you come from a very clinical side to Juice Plus and the way you approach this. So tell us a little bit, like just about your background, a little bit about yourself, and just sort of what is bringing you to this point.
Sure. So, I have two sons and three grandsons that I'm very proud of. And career wise, I got my bachelor's degree in medical technologies. So I worked in the hospital setting, worked in all the different departments for a brief time, but then I specialized in microbiology, which I really, really liked. And I worked there for, maybe 10, 15 years. And then I, I don't want to really say harass, but I um, tried really hard to get on to Alcon Labs in Fort Worth. It's a ophthalmic pharmaceutical company, and they specialize in like eye drops, glaucoma, anti-infectives, and devices like intraocular lenses and the machines or devices that do that, when you go in and have cataract surgery. And so when I initially worked in the lab as a research microbiologist there. And so I did a lot of sterility micro tests, to help, develop, research and develop the products. And then I was very fortunate. Alcon paid for our education, our advanced education. So I went on and got my master's in public health and kind of networked or worked with some of the other departments. I did Toastmasters there, which helped is wonderful for communication skills. And then I got into the clinical research department. And what we did there is the products that they're developing and that they're trying to pass through the FDA. You have to, do trials at different hospitals and clinics and universities. And so I traveled throughout the United States and I monitored or audited the clinical trials. This is like while they're being developed before, they're, which, it takes a long time for a product to get to that point. And so we just have to ensure that, a company is making sure that the study and the research trial is done adequately, because the FDA can do, a pop visit anytime and making sure that, your everything's going correctly, the enrollment, and your number one, your patient safety in the clinical trials is number one. And then, we also want to make sure that we're getting good data for the trial. So that's basically
I didn't know labs could have pop quizzes.
they can come in and just, say, hey, we're going to come to this clinic next Tuesday. So, you just make sure that everything's in order and all your regulatory documents and that kind of thing. So yeah, it was cutting edge technology, very, very interesting, and no day is ever the same.
So Denise, before we get the next question, Kay Phillips just said hi on chat, and I just posted that while you were talking. So I just want to let you know she's watching right now. Okay.
Hey,
and
great.
So there you go. And so I posted her comment. Maybe I can just briefly put it back up. Let me show you. There it is right there. Hi, Denise.
Yes.
So happy I found you today. So there you go.
Awesome. Okay. Yes. All She's right. One of my business partners.
There you go. So what you filled us in quite a bit on the prep show in the 30 minutes prior to the show. And I just don't think your passion shows very much. Could you probably be, I am so kidding. What is your biggest passion? I know what you're getting ready to say because we've talked about it, but
yes.
Talk to us about your passion a little bit.
My passion is sharing health. That's the easiest thing. And I think to say is sharing is caring. And I love to mentor and help others. Like I was just recently at a health fair, and there was 4 high school students that came up, and one was a senior, and she said, I'd love to do research, because I kind of told her my background. And so I gave her my number. I answered a bunch of questions, but I love to share with others. And that's really, really important. I've always been a health nut. Even when I traveled, I made it to the gym. I got up at 5 o'clock, went to the gym. And before I went to the doctor's offices, Alcon had a fabulous gym, concerned about what I ate. And so, health and nutrition and fitness has always been really important. And I can't really say my new passion, but I would say my passion in the last 10 years is, I like to eat as clean as possible. And I mean, do I have pizza and all that? Definitely pizza and Mexican food and a margarita. Sure. But, we try to eat clean 80-90% of the time. And I never, ever planted a garden outside. But with the JuicePlus company, they have the Tower Gardens. And so I grow 2 inside. And so I just love to I grow everything from seed. And I just love to, I just cleaned them both out and planted them 5 days ago. And they're just popping up. They're so cute.
Yeah.
And so in 4 weeks, we'll be able to eat from it. And so I would say, another huge hobby of mine is gardening inside. Easy, but fun.
Awesome.
That's awesome. And so now I'm curious. I want to connect the dots, because you're a very highly educated health professional. You have a lot of background on research and got to do some really cool work. So what transitioned you to JuicePlus and the Tower Garden, and how'd you get to this point?
Well, in 2014, like I mentioned, I was traveling a lot to the clinics and monitoring. And I've always, when you travel, it's easy to get sick. And so I always had a weakness in my ears. So like I'd get allergies or a cold or a virus. And, flying with the change of pressures and that, I'd end up with an ear infection. And so I was getting like 2 ear infections a year. And so you're on that, I'm sure you both have been on that roller coaster, antibiotics, steroid, you're okay for a couple months, antibiotics, steroid, and I personally got to see what was growing on those plates in microbiology.
Wow.
And when the doctor, we would get like stool cultures of kids that had chronic diarrhea. So they would have chronic ear infection. So what does the doctor do? They just prescribe another antibiotic. So they're on antibiotics a lot. And so that just cleans out your gut. Not only is it killing the bad bacteria,
Killing
it's
the
also
good.
killing the good.
Yeah.
So instead of seeing, now we call it microbiome, gut health microbiome. Back then we called it normal flora. So we would see E. coli and all that growing on the Petri dishes normally. But then after they're on all these antibiotics, you have a pure culture of yeast. So the yeast takes over, and that's why they have diarrhea, because there's no good bacteria left. So anyway, the antibiotics, I try to stay away from them as much as I can.
Absolutely.
And so, having worked in the hospital, I saw a lot of people come and go and, have complications once they're in the hospital. So I knew the normal pathway of, okay, I have ear infections. Everybody thought it was my sinuses, even though I never had sinus infections. So they're wanting to do ear surgery, nasal surgery, all that kind of stuff, and I wanted to try a more holistic approach. And so a really good friend of mine, Ashley, introduced me. Well, she asked me if I had heard of JuicePlus, and I said, no, I haven't. And she said, it's just really good nutrition. It's 30 fruits and vegetables, and it's just basically they take the water and they take the whole fruit, like the orange, the peel, the nuts, the seeds in an apple, and they just mash it, take the water out. And so I had never heard of it. And, the thing that's kind of crazy, and I think it's the same thing for doctors. When I worked on my master's in public health, I did not have one class in nutrition. So I didn't really know how important fruits and vegetables were. And doctors, they don't get a whole lot of, schooling on nutrition. So a regular MD, it depends on the doctor. So anyway, I had a really strong background in research. And so I checked it out, and I was really surprised that, JuicePlus had some research. I mean, not some. At that time, they had over 30 clinical trials showing that it helped, your heart and immunity and all of that. And so I'm like, okay, I'm going to try this. And did it help me immediately? No. Some people are on it a couple months and they're like, I don't feel anything. But over time, it gets into your body. And just remember that the blood cells in your body take about 4 months to turn over. Your immune cells, all your blood cells and everything takes time to turn over. And so, instead of having 2 infections every year in the last 10 years, I've had 2 total, one with COVID and one other time. So it really, really helped my immunity. So I just decided that I wanted to try a more holistic, and I continue to do that, even though it's kind of crazy. I work in microbiology. I try to stay away from antibiotics and medications as much as I can.
So what the audience doesn't know, Denise, is that I've been on this product since 1997. And the reason I'm on this product and still on it to this day is that the thing that convinced me to get on it was the fact that when it was blind tested, it was tested as a whole product, not as individual ingredients. And this from a research side effect, that there's a lot of products that we can get today that, yes, have effective things inside the product, but when they're mixed together, those ingredients were tested separately. And tell me if I'm wrong, and then they're mixed together. So this product was tested as a whole product, not just the separate ingredients. So I don't mean to get you down a rabbit hole, but can you dig into that a little bit and tell us a little bit about what's macronutrients versus micronutrients? And did that make any sense, what I just said?
Yes, definitely. And, same thing, when I worked in the pharmaceutical field, you don't do the research on the excipients or the ingredients in the product. You test the whole product against the one that's approved by the FDA. And so a lot of research out there is, okay, just test it on the vitamin C or one ingredient of the product, but you really need to test it against, the whole product, against the placebo. So macronutrients, macros big, basically that's the foods we eat, like carbohydrates, protein, fiber. And so we do have, this is our macronutrition, is our shakes. And I don't have a bar here, but we also have protein bars, and then naturally our Tower Garden. So we have the complete shakes, and then Juice Plus has been around since 1993, so 31 years. And so they are the pioneer of plant powders. So basically, micronutrients are, micro is, vitamins, phytonutrients, which is simply plant nutrients, minerals. And so fruits and vegetables have tons and tons of these micronutrients. So our micronutrition is fruits, vegetables, and berries in capsules or chews. You can also get them in chews. And I just have one blend here. This is the fruit blend. And we have a fruit, vegetable, and berry. So basically what they do is it's whole food, plant-based nutrition. So everything with Juice Plus and the Tower Garden, it's all about plants. And why is that? Well, I mean, you just do a little bit of research. People do much, much better when they eat more of a plant-based diet, or primarily plant-based versus other diets. And so they take the 30 fruits, vegetables, and berries, and they mash, they take the water out of it and they make it into a slurry, dry it at very low temperatures so it doesn't destroy the nutrients. And then they put it in capsules. And so the one really good thing about the whole food is that you're getting like the peeling of the orange. The orange has the peeling has 75% of vitamin C in it. And so you want all of it. And, people that juice, that's great. But you're still you're leaving so much in that Vitamix or in that blender. You're just getting the juice basically out of it. So it's simple, it's easy, and it's effective. The research that we have showing that's effective. So basically macronutrition, it builds and fuels. That's the macronutrients is what we eat. And the micronutrition conditions our bodies. And so we are supposed to be eating 10 to 13 fruits and vegetables a day.
Yeah.
And only 10% of Americans do that. And so we need something to bridge the gap. And that's really, what this company that has been around for a long time has found is that these plant powders, are really effective. It's micronutrition that helps, all facets of our body. So it's just basically daily plant food support. And we also have the chews, like I said. So, we really need to look beyond just macros. Let's nickname macros versus the micronutrition. And, it helps systemically all of our systems, respiratory, circulatory, all of that. And so basically beyond the macros, more plants, more performance. That's basically what it boils down to.
Awesome.
And what about, because, one common thing that I see, like when people start being more like attuned to like their health and they want to start eating better and want to introduce this micronutrients, first of all, they're introduced to the concept. I see one common thing people do is like, well, just take a multivitamin. But as I understand, like, it's not quite the same.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like a multivitamin has, depending on what you take, 25, 30, they're all on the label. And that has, a supplement label, where ours is food. So if you find, if you would find Juice Plus in the store, it would be in like the berries would be in with the berries. The vegetables would be next to the kale. It's whole food nutrition. So we have a nutrition label. We have a food label. We do not have a supplement label because it is whole food. And so, yeah, so and then like in an apple, I don't have a picture here, but in an apple, there's thousands and thousands of vitamins and minerals just in an apple. And that's just one of the very nutrient dense fruit that we have in our plant powders. So just think if you're taking 30 very nutritious or highly nutrient dense fruits and vegetables, and you've put them all in this powder, you're getting tons and tons and tons of nutrients, and you're not just getting 25 to 30 that's on that multivitamin label. Another thing is a multivitamin is they're pulling vitamin C from here, vitamin D from here, vitamin K from here, and throwing it all together. And like you said, how do we know how effective it is when you're taking all these isolated vitamins and putting them together? Where we have apples, oranges, pomegranate, that's very nutrient dense, and we're just taking the water out of it and, using really, great technology that JuicePlus has developed. Like I said, they're the pioneer in this, and, they're putting it all together. So I can take 2 fruits, 2 vegetables, and 2 berry capsules, and then 2 omegas every day. And I'm getting, and then I add a shake onto that. I'm getting almost 50 plants a day. So, I mean, it's simple, it's easy. And I don't know about you, but I can't eat 10 fruits and vegetables every day.
And yeah, because number one, you have to go shop it. Then you have to make sure they don't spoil. So you've got to do things quickly, right? This is just a great alternative to that. Doesn't mean you shouldn't grow your tower garden and get one. We have 2, by the way, and grow your fruits and vegetables. The other thing I wanted to ask you, and this is an off the cuff question, it comes into your research a little bit. Another thing is we get older, right? And that, you eat an apple and the body knows what to do with it. It's God and the apple understand each other, so to speak. So the absorption of products becomes, I think, more of an issue as we get older, right? The body doesn't absorb as well as it did. So this JuicePlus in its powder form tends to quickly get into the areas that it needs to be. It gets distributed through the body very well, is what I'm trying to say.
Right.
So what about?
I wanted to say, heard you one more thing about the label. Besides having the nutrition label, we also have it. There's a NSF label, and that's third-party certification. So that means a third party is taking our product and making sure that whatever is in those capsules is truly in those capsules, and whatever on the label, that it's in there. So that's super important for safety. And we have a lot of elite athletes that are taking our products. Because, you think you and I need 10 to 13, right? But these athletes that are training, for high level competitions, they need probably 5 times that, because they're burning so many calories and you can just only eat so much, And then also all of our products are dairy free, gluten free, and non-GMO. So that's really,
that's another good draw to it. Absolutely.
Another huge thing.
So you're talking about the uniqueness of JuicePlus. So I'll put that up. I think a lot of people have so many choices today, Denise. I think it's difficult to break through the noise, right? And there's so many fronts of nutrition coming at us today. But one general thing that I have noticed, even from TV advertising, whatever, is that a lot of people are talking about plants all of a sudden. This didn't used to be the case. You're seeing a lot of plant-based type products come on the market. People are starting to discover that these are important for our system. You guys have been on the forefront. So y'all got introduced this product in 1993.
Right.
So explain some of the benefits of what healthy starts do for families.
Okay. So the one thing that's really great is that Juice Plus, they're a very caring company. And so with whenever an adult orders their fruits and vegetables, we have a special program called the Healthy Starts for families. And so that means with the child, they get their capsules or chews free. So this is for age 4 through 25. And so that's 22 years.
Wow.
It just used to be 4 years. And then they said through college. Well, then not everybody goes to college. A lot of people go to the military or wherever. My son's a retired Army vet, and so they just changed it in the last year. So for age 4 through 25, Juice Plus pays for some of that. Some of us business partners also pay for that. So, and this program, like I said, has been implemented in 1999. And so, what they have found, because they do surveys before and after the kids take it, and they find that the kids miss less school, go to the doctor less, and then after they're on it for a while, take less meds, and also are eating less fast food. And, the thing is, another thing that I found, and, is you kind of get the idea, your palate changes a little bit, or maybe it makes you feel guilty. I don't know. You're like, I shouldn't be eating that, but you kind of crave more good food than when I'm eating fried chicken, which isn't very often. And usually it might just be like a drumstick or something like that. It's like, I just feel so guilty where, I never used to really feel that way, but you know that there's other things that are just so much better for you. So.
Yeah. And I would agree with that. Like, the better you start eating, the more like your body seems to recognize what's good for it. And you start craving like with a little bit more direction. Whereas before you're like, I'm hungry. I just want a burger.
Right.
And then you're like, no, like, it's like, I really, like, I'm craving an orange, and it's your body telling you need more vitamin C.
Right. But yeah, this is the largest and the longest health study of children in the world. So like I said, it was started in 1999. So it's really pretty spectacular. And then, the thing is, once you reach age 13, they're getting the adult dosage. So it's pretty amazing that the company does this. And
and for a very long time. You name me another company on your hand that does this from all the way up to age 25. They give away their product.
Right.
There are none. I can tell you right now, there are none.
No.
So
yeah,
pretty amazing that they support the health of children and do that. So we're getting a lot of comments. I'm trying to keep up with them, just so you guys know. Ashley says hi.
Hi, Ashley.
Kay is getting ready. I'm getting ready to post something really cool here. Kay says, I went from 230 pounds to 180, and my blood pressure and cholesterol went down as well with the help of Juice Plus and lifestyle changes. Denise introduced me to Juice Plus. So Denise, there's another happy client and somebody that's benefiting, according to them, of the product. So that's awesome. And
I do want to do a shout out to Ashley because, like I said, in addition to being a very good friend, she introduced me to Juice Plus, and it's a life changer, and now that I'm retired from the corporate world, I continue to share Juice Plus, and it's my business, it's my pastime. And I'd rather do that than sit in front of the tube or whatever. And I mean, I go to lunch with friends and do this and that too, but I mean, it's just, our health is so important, and even more so as we now my chiropractor told me not to say the word age. It's mature. As we mature, it's even more important.
Yeah.
It's a pretty good word, isn't it?
I got it. And to make this circle go all the way around, Ashley was introduced to Juice Plus by yours truly, Hurdy Burke.
Yay!
So, and we've been friends for a long time. So it's good to see her on here. We probably need to catch up a little bit and get everybody together. But Jordan, I'm not sure who has the next question. So tell us a little bit about the aeroponic gardening. which I guess is part of the Tower Garden, correct? Correct. So,
Yes, yes. So the
um,
aeroponic tower garden, I was kind of intimidated with it. It was just like, I never gardened in my life. I never grew anything outside. I mean, I had flowers and plants inside, but, just regular green plants, but I never ever grew tomatoes or any of that. And so, I started outside. I think I started in November, and it didn't grow very much that first winter. And then I brought it inside, and it was like, it just went crazy. And so it was just so much fun. And I just bought a bunch of seeds, and, it went crazy. So basically, there's no roots. There's 20 gallons in. I don't know if you can see this. This is a picture of my grandson.
yep,
And
you can see it.
in the base, you can't see the base, but underneath this white platform here, there is a big base that is 20 gallons, and the water and nutrients go all the way up to this tube. And this is hard to do.
No,
All the way
you got it. You got it. You're
up
doing good.
there. And so there's 20 ports in here. And so you put the seeds in, it's called rock wool. And then the water sprinkles down on the roots, and then they grow. And so they take, most of them pop up within 5 to 10 days, some sooner. And some of them, like rosemary and some of your herbs might take a little longer. And they're usually full grown by, 4 weeks. And
Right.
so anyway, yeah, it's pretty amazing. I mean, it can make an easy dish. I mean, I can just take like some parsley and dill and sage or whatever, and just kind of chop it up and add a little olive oil and balsamic and make a chimichurri sauce and throw that over chicken breasts. So it looks like a gourmet meal, and it's just greens that you pull off your tower garden.
And the
Wow.
idea that something can be vertical and not take up tons of room, like having to do your whole backyard, right? It
Right.
gives everybody the benefit to having a tower garden. Yvonne has two. I'd get her over here on the camera right now, but she'll refuse, so I'm not going to ask. But the fact that you can do vertical gardening,
Right.
save room, save space, and have that benefit, it's pretty cool. So I'm going to put up real quick. Hang on, let me go over here. There's her link. If you're interested in the tower garden, while we're talking about it, there's her direct link to it. This will also show up on the archive. So if you got friends, and you want to forward them this link, or if you have interest in the tower garden, please hit her up, because I'll tell you what, it's a cool product. And you know what? Denise and her husband actually came over. Am I correct in this? And showed us how to set ours up when we first got it. And it was awesome. They came over and hung out for an hour or two, and literally just were patient as could be, and helped Yvonne get her tower garden set up. So there you
Yes.
go.
Yep.
Awesome.
It's
Yep.
really cool. And so this is an aeroponic garden, right? Because I've heard of hydroponics, but this is aeroponic.
So the difference between aeroponic and hydroponics is the hydroponics, the plant actually sits in the water, where the aeroponic it's in the air. So in that long tube, the plant roots hang in the middle. So the water that comes up, it just sprays down on the roots. So it's aeroponic. So that's basically the difference between the two. And very simple technology, very inexpensive. I mean, I have two now. I started growing. I joined JuicePlus in May of 2014, so coming up on 10 years. And I was trying to, like get a good start and hit a promotion right away. And I'm like, I don't know if I want that tower garden, because I never grew. But I bought one, and I was just, really surprised. But it's all enclosed. It comes with the light system, comes with the pump. So we go on vacation. I mean, we went to Europe for 14 days, and it was supposed to be 12, but we ended up being there 14 because somebody shared their COVID with us, so we couldn't fly back home. And so we're gone 2 weeks, and you come home and it's just growing. It just keeps growing and growing, and you're like, oh my gosh. So then you just got to make a bunch of salads, which I do. I meal prep salads too.
Nice.
So yeah,
They do grow fast. That
they do.
yeah, they do.
What can you grow with it?
Well, inside it's mostly greens, like, all kinds of different lettuces, kale, Swiss chard, herbs. You can do peppers inside. But outside, I mean, this can go inside or outside. And we did do outside for a little bit. But, as we start traveling more, especially with the Texas summers, the grasshoppers love the kale. So you end up with, holes in your kale. And I'm not really sure I want to eat it after the grasshoppers nibbling on it. And,
They're good too. Come on.
Oh, no. And then the water goes down, so you have to be more aware of your, the chemical, the nutrients in the water. And I mean, Ashley's had, she grew cantaloupe and watermelon and all of that outside. Her outside tower was amazing.
Wow.
But I kind of opted for the easier, and we just like to have the greens all the time. And 2 tower gardens is too much for the 2 of us. My son and daughter-in-law live less than a mile. So they're constantly coming over for lettuce, and that's fine because we have it. And now I took them down last week and cleaned them, both of them at the same time, which I don't usually do. And so we're having to get romaine and spinach from the store. And it's like, oh my gosh, there's just no difference. Once you consistently, I mean, we've been, like I said, almost 10 years, we've been eating off the tower.
Wow.
And JuicePlus, it was an entrepreneur, devised the concept, and it was at Epcot in Florida. And JuicePlus saw it, and they're like, okay, that's what we need, fruits and vegetables, right? That's the company, is fruits and vegetables. So they acquired it. And so he is still affiliated with JuicePlus too. So that, it just matches also perfectly.
So Denise, do you work this as a business also from the standpoint of bringing in, are you part of the program where you actually bring in folks underneath?
Yeah, I am. Started out, I signed up as a business partner and a customer at the same time, just because I knew I would, I wanted to do something, part-time in my retirement. And so it gives you residual income, and their compensation plans like a blend. So it's naturally direct sales, but it's network marketing, and I go out in the community and belong to a couple of network groups, Mansfield networking being one. And also, if you get up high in the compensation plan, you can also have benefits like health insurance, college tuition, auto, car allowance. So the one thing I really like is that JuicePlus does everything. I mean, I don't have to have stock. There's no quotas. You get a website, and you can send your website to people, and I can be traveling wherever, and all my business is on my phone. Where is my phone? It's right here. It's on. And you can see in the back, I have my JuicePlus, so I just pull out a card and give it to people. And somebody's like, oh, I'm so tired of these allergies or whatever, which brings up another thing, is, having worked in research, JuicePlus has a large body of research, which I touched on briefly. And, we are the most researched nutritional product in the world. That is known for a fact. When I joined JuicePlus, we had just about 30, and now we have over 45. I think it's 48. And so JuicePlus makes no claims. We have a lot of people that give testimonies that, okay, my allergies are better. And that's what helped me. My immunity got better. My allergies got better. I got off of Zyrtec. I got off of cholesterol. And other people, it's improved their asthma. I know that I think Ashley's daughter had respiratory infections. We can tell people that, but we don't make claims. But what is really, really important is the science behind the product.
Right.
Our science shows that it helps heart health. It helps your immunity. It decreases inflammation. It helps. We have a study on brain health, gut health. And so this is really, that in addition to our Healthy Starts for Families, where the kids get it free. Medical professionals, there's a lot of medical professionals that recommend JuicePlus because of our science behind the product. And we actually have 13,000 medical professionals that are business partners, because we have also, there's a lot of chiropractors, doctors, they don't have health care, or they won't have health care in the future. So this is, a means of residual income. And then at the top, you get corporate benefits. So, so it's a really big plus for people who don't have that. And if they want to work hard for a while and get to that level, I'm not to that level. And I'm not like doing it 24/7, because I am retired from the corporate world, and I'm enjoying traveling, and my grandson lives here now, and just doing other things. I work this business part-time, but it is a business. But I just love sharing it with others. And so, but yeah, JuicePlus does it all. You just place the order, it ships to their house, and I don't have to have quotas. I mean, it's really, really amazing. So we have, we have a study at MD Anderson that was done on ovarian cancers. And what they took for 6 months is they took the fruits and vegetables, and they ate one complete shake every day for 6 months, plus 5 fruits and vegetables, macronutrition. And then the other group took 10 fruits and ate 10 fruits and vegetables a day. They found out after 6 months that they were equivalent. They tested different biomarkers and whatnot. That they were equivalent in health, but that the JuicePlus group had better protein status, and that is mostly likely because they had the macronutrition too. So, I mean, our studies are done at top universities, MD Anderson, on cancer patients, and so, we're well known in the health industry.
Mm-hmm. You guys also do a lot with the performance industry as well, right? I believe you have a cool story with collaborations you guys have done with some fancy peeps and some elite athletes.
Yes. There's a lot of athletes, just because they can't consume all those fruits and vegetables that they're supposed to have. So there's this partnership between the U.S. Performance Center in Charlotte and JuicePlus. I think it's been about a year now. And so, they realize that, more athletes are eating plant-based because of, the advantages. And it's just hard to get that many. And so it's called the Functional Food Performance Protocol. These athletes at the Performance Center, some of them are training for the Olympics. And so they're on the complete protein shake and the quad, which is the fruit, vegetable, berry, and the omega blends every day. And so we're probably going to be finding out some of those results coming up pretty soon, because it started, I think, at least 6 months ago. And so just having those collaborations, and we have, different Olympians that, are elite athletes that, they are business partners, and they promote JuicePlus, and they're up high in the company too. So there's, just a lot of support medically, and, and the thing is, it's like, everybody needs more fruits and vegetables. Sometimes I talked to somebody yesterday, and he's like, well, I think this would be really good for my mom. And I'm like, do you eat 10 fruits and vegetables a day? It's good for everybody. It's prevention. It's not just good for your mom or somebody more mature, right?
Yeah. So it's not like, everybody needs it. So we've kind of, we need to get to a wrap up point. Denise, thank you. Jordan, thank you, sir. I love it. Jordan, this is the first podcast I've done where I have a host. host, and I love it. It takes a lot of stuff I have to do over here on the side while you're talking and take care of. He can jump in. So Denise, any final thoughts? I put up your email, your Gmail account. If somebody's interested in reaching out to you, is this the best place to contact you? Your
Sure.
Gmail address?
Yeah.
Is that all right?
That's perfect.
Okay.
Yep.
And then you can give them, we have information to both your tower garden and to your website.
Very good.
That'll all show up, I promise, on the archive, just like it is right here. So people will be able to jot it down, and we'll put it in the description. Any final thoughts?
It's something I would not be without, because you can go to Whole Foods, Walmart, any of those stores, and you're going to find rows and rows and rows and rows of supplements. And is there research? Is there science behind it? How do you know you're not going to just pee that out? So I just think,
That's a good
our
way
company has been around for a long time. We have the science behind it and the medical professionals. I mean, and if you want to hear some of these doctors talk, I can give you all kinds of Zooms. And I mean, they have 2 to 3 a week, at least. Tonight, we have Dr. Tulzar, and he is a high supporter, and he did the first in vitro cardiac surgery. So he's a pediatric cardiologist, and he will be on Zoom tonight. So if you're interested, it's going to be amazing.
Well, folks, I think you got quite a bit of information today to make decisions. And Denise, this beats having to do 30 seconds. It says I sell Tower Gardens and JuicePlus, right? So
right? Yeah.
That's a good thing. And I'm going to start something here. Thank you for being part of the program. I'm playing a little bit of music in the background here to take us out, if you don't mind. It's kind of hokey, but it's fun. So listen, guys, Mansfield Buzz, build everything, about your business here in Mansfield, Texas, surrounding area. We're live every Thursday from 2 to 3. Jordan is a host. Herdy's a host. We have fun. And Denise, thank you for being on the live broadcast. And everybody, and all you people that chatted with us, it made me work really hard to get that posted on the live stream. Thank you very much to Kay, Ashley, and everybody else that chatted in. Thank you.
Thank you.
Y'all have a fabulous day, and we'll see you next Thursday at 2 o'clock on YouTube. Bye, everybody.
Bye now. Thank you.